on the gas, we accelerate, yeah. I got the power, we delegate, yeah. We made it out, now we celebrate, yeah. I want the dub that's fanatical, yeah. I took some steps that was practical, yeah. Militant mind that is tactical, yeah. We keep on going botanical, yeah. Came out the sewer like a Ninja Turtle. Had to go switch up my circle, yeah. I left a mess like I'm Urkel. Had to go make it right over the hurdle. I faced some times that was hurtful. Stuck on the wheel like a gerbil. Coming in hot like it's thermal. Facts. We keep it popping like Colonel. Facts. Soar like an eagle, bring all of my people. Those times was lethal, your health like a beetle. Went deep like a needle, yeah, I was so feeble. Now we go forward like a diesel. I found purpose that was due to rain. Now I tell my story cause I grew through pain. I am not the same, got a new brain. We press forward like a choo-choo train.
It is raining cats and dogs out here in Olivesburg, where a pack of Cougars and Tigers are just about ready to square off under the lights here at Scott Bailey Memorial Field for a live and free presentation of boys high school soccer that you can only find right here on the OH Report. It's Huron versus Crestview exclusively on the OH Report, coming your way next.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
Man, I wish I was out there.
Let's unretire.
Why not? Randy Moss.
Dan Marino? You alright?
Hey, Grandpa!
Grandpa?
I still got it.
22. 22.
Delay game, number 13.
Let's see.
Hey. I need that senior discount.
That's the game. Mr. Marino, you mind if I take a selfie? Thank you.
I'm good right here, bro.
Unretirement? Who'd be dumb enough to do that?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside of the Koorsen Fire and Security pregame show. I am Brian Skowronski. Jory Hollenbeck is running our top camera here tonight, and we are braving the rainy weather so that you don't have to, bringing you live and free boys soccer action here from Scott Bailey Memorial Field, where Crestview and Huron are just a few moments away from going toe-to-toe in some non-league boys soccer action. Let's tell you a little bit about Huron and what they've been able to do so far on the season as we dive inside of our team spotlight. This is a team that, after a 4-match win streak, they were looking pretty good at the midway point of the season. Since then, they have dropped 4 of their last 5 matches, and that win against Edison looking better and better as the season rolls along, but the entirely opposite with that loss to Willard early on in the campaign, giving the Flashes their only victory so far. But this team does boast 3 different players that can really get after it and score 7+ goals for a trio. 2 of them are captains. One of them we're about to show you here in our player spotlight. And that young man, Chris Heidel, consistent scoring threat. His coach says that he's been a great leader. That's why he's been named the team captain this season. He can distribute 3 assists on the year as well. So definitely keep an eye on Chris to be an impact performer, as both teams have gone out onto the playing surface, which luckily this is one of the best turf fields that we have in all of North Central Ohio, if not the entire state. So the field conditions definitely are not going to be a problem. The irrigation system here is unbelievable, but certainly just as far as how the players feel and how that ball is going to move off of their foot, we're anticipating the weather to be a big factor. As we'll now step aside for a moment with the playing of our national anthem, Star Spangled Banner. Rain really starting to come down here now in the outskirts of Ashland, where Crestview is about to get on the pitch and do some work. Let's show you what they've done so far on the season. Take a look at our team spotlight for the Cougars. They've been relatively competitive. However, they've really struggled to find consistent scoring throughout the year. You see averaging less than 2 goals per contest. They give up about 3.5. Their opponents, though, been pretty solid so far on the season. 62 combined wins overall, and they've really found something since they moved Trent Weaver from the back line up into a forward position. He's got 8 goals, far and away the most on the team. Matter of fact, it's about half of the team's goals that they have scored so far on the campaign. So definitely Trent is a dude that they're going to have to get involved early, often, try to get him in some one-on-one opportunities and see if he cannot make them pay. But our player spotlight tonight for the Cougars is a defensive player back in between the pipes, Ty Callahan, great athlete and a kid that really does give you a chance every single night. He's got 85 saves so far on the year, and he's looking for his 5th match of the season to give up 2 goals or less. And typically, he's seen a lot of work back there. He's getting peppered with shots. Ty at least does his job, not keeping clean slates per se. No shutouts yet for the Cougars, but always gives them a chance. So what is going to decide tonight's game? Let's dive into our keys to victory. And for the Cougars, in my opinion, this is a team that, man, you just got to go out and score, okay? You know, you've been looking for somebody to become that guy for you that you can just give the rock to. He can make something happen, be creative, stir up some magic. You just got to find a goal anyhow, anyway, especially in these weather conditions. And then if you can just make it tough on Huron, defend, pack it in the paint, what they've done so far this season is just that they've been able to line up bodies outside of the 18 and force teams to take tough shots. I think that's what it's going to take tonight for Crestview to get a win here at home, especially with these rainy conditions, which could be problematic for the Tigers. So for them to get the victory tonight, I feel like they got to go inside out, work the middle of the field, and then play it to the outside at times here tonight to try to break down the Cougars' defense, draw them out, and then try to attack some of the gaps. And then the clean slate with Crestview not having their best offensive season so far. If you can put a goose egg up there, of course, you cannot lose the match. That could be huge, of course, for the Tigers, who have played really well defensively basically the entire season. They've just been in a little bit of a rough stretch trying to find the back of the net. And this will wrap up our Koorsen Fire and Security pregame show. If you need a new fire extinguisher or new equipment to set off some alarms, protecting your property from fire damage, Koorsen definitely is the place that you need to go. First touch tonight is going to belong to Crestview. So the referee's getting everything sorted out. And we're now underway here with the Cougars sending a deep ball through the middle of the field, forcing Huron to try to chase it out of there.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah, text me to make sure that they're down there. I will. And then, who's coming up here? Amy Callahan. I don't know who that is. Brennan knows. All right. Brennan, where did I put my umbrella?
It looks like, sorry guys, I'm trying to get a working clock, but as we had last time we were here, it's just, you just can't make it out. It's just too bright for us, Tim. Too good of light bulbs up there. So I'll just keep you guys informed of the time throughout the match tonight. As the Cougars going to stay with it. Have a throw in over on the far side of the field. And really pressing forward. Nobody hanging back around midfield. Everybody coming up and getting into striking distance here for the Cougs. Though Huron packing it in, making it tough. But we're going to get an early goal here for Crestview. Boy, what a start for them. As it looks like it got deflected into the back of the net. Goal's going to go to Tyler Holloway. And just a minute, 22 seconds into the match, Cougar strike and take first blood. Playing from in front is not something the Cougars have been accustomed to so far this season, so this little jolt in the arm for them, curious what it's going to do in this early portion of the match. This ball kind of gets lost down there in the corner. Got away from Cameron Manor. Now they're going to lob it here outside the 18 in the middle of the field. Cougars looking to clear. Now here's our player spotlight. Chris Heidel had it deflected as he tried to cross it. And now Norwell with the turnover. Crestview continuing to keep up the pressure as they get it out of harm's way, at least for now. Now the Cougs with the throw, quickly looking to get to work as tried to find Trent Weaver up top. It's been an excellent goal scorer this second half of the season for the Cougs. Now great ball here down the far sideline. Manor cuts back against the grain. Sends it across the middle. It's popped straight up and headed out of play. And it'll go down as a goal kick. 3.5 minutes now off the clock. Here at Scott Bailey Memorial. Looks like the rain's eased up a little bit for now, but expected to continue throughout the entire duration of the night. Cole Eichelberger tosses it in, and they'll bring it on the back line. And Weaver can't chase that one down, so the Tigers got a throw in coming up here. Good looking ball, setting it up for Weaver. Give and go here in space with Holloway, who had the goal earlier in the match. Now the Tigers looking to get on the counterattack. Shifting the field right now. Norwell sets it up. Good looking ball. A couple of options. And the shot sails just a bit too high. Best look so far for the Huron Tigers. And they'll look to stay on the attack. Eichelberger offering some pressure, and it's knocked off of him out of bounds for a Tiger throw-in deep in their own territory. Good looking turn in the middle of the field right there by Jackson Gray. And he's able to dish it up top here for Manor. Taking on a couple of defenders, lays it out wide. A little bit too firm, though, with the setup. Eichelberger's been busy over on this left side of the pitch. And there he is with a left foot, but driven right at a defensive player. As the Tigers switch fields, bring it up top. Norwell does a nice job using his body, shielding off the Crestview defenders. And that one chipped to the near side. And off the cross, just a bit mismeasured right there. A couple of different players were tracking it for Huron. But Crestview is able to clear it out of bounds. As we're just over 7 minutes gone by here in the opening half. If you're just joining us, a Tyler Holloway goal, just a $1.22 into the contest, has Crestview out in front here tonight. Looking for win number 3 on the season. As that's a dangerous ball into the box, but Callahan able to come away with it. Solid setup there for Cameron Manor. Just wasn't really able to get anything behind a shot attempt. As this one off the backside there of Tyler Holloway. Now Grady Klein skips that one out of bounds. Tigers right now winning the time of possession. And they've had a couple of clean builds so far, but haven't been able to turn them into much more than one really good-looking shot attempt. This sailed high over the top of the crossbar. It's going to be another Crestview throw-in. Great hustle over there on the far sideline by the ball boy. Kids all over it. Now that one flicked towards center. Crestview showing some nice creativity on the offensive side of things here in the first 10 minutes or so. But they've been short-lived build-ups. Now here's Manor getting hounded, able to keep his feet. Now Heidel looking to make a one-on-one move. He's going to send it from deep. And too much for Chris that time. Another off-target shot here for the Huron Tigers. And here comes the junior Callahan. Got a nice big leg out of the net. Couple of volleys here for the Cougars and could get a potential breakaway. Weaver just didn't have a whole lot of touch on this one. See, pretty good defense. Had a streaking player in the middle of the field. Cougars showing a little bit of patience right now. But the Tigers, too, defensively not flinching on any of those feints. So that one's headed forward by Weaver. Trying to give one of his teammates an opportunity. And it'll be chased out of bounds for a Tiger goal kick. It looks like we are going to get a foul call. This is the very end of the play. You don't see anything. But a little shoulder check is going to set up the Cougars. And here they are with the set piece. Back post headed down, and a second goal here for the Cougs. 2-0 Crestview out in front in two different style of goals. Second look on our Carothers Pest Control replay. Excellent execution. And the confidence got to be brimming right now for the Cougars. At the 28-23 mark. Maybe the best start to any match of the season so far for Crestview. That was Andrew Spohr with the last goal. And here's the sophomore looking to get involved a little bit more offensively. He typically lays back as an outside defenseman, but off those set pieces, of course, try to get as many of your good athletes involved as you can, and you see the great size from number 12 out there. Good looking setup for Heidel, taking on the hop, and the Tigers bounce back with a goal of their own. Excellent execution. Cameron Manor coming in to make this just a 1-goal differential. Check out the entire build-up here. This is just Christian Heidel making a great play in space. And then Cameron finishing it off. Cougars trying to get that one back immediately here. So they're able to drive it into the attacking third, and now Tigers chasing it out. And counterattack disrupted. Nice job of stepping in that time. Now the Cougars trying to clear here with Grady Klein, and it lands right at the feet of Spohr. Good action in the midfield going down tonight. That one flops right to the feet here of Nick Walls. And the Cougars content just to put it out of bounds. Lead to a Huron Tiger throw-in on the far side. 26 minutes remaining here in the opening half. Crestview lit up our Bo Lacey Construction scoreboard with 2 early goals. Tigers getting involved just about a minute and a half ago. Show you that last Tiger goal one more time here. Just a beautiful ball again. And taken by Manor on the run. Huron would love to get a quick equalizer here. And it's going to land almost. Looked like it was going to be dangerous at the feet there of Linchek. A lot of bend on that ball. And the shot's going to go wide. See, that's Norwell up top. Got a good piece of it with that left foot, but just a bit off target. Now Callahan drills one here near side one out of the air by Huron, and of the matches that I've seen for Crestview this season, that is definitely one of their weak points. Playing the ball out of the air pretty consistently, they get beat to the ball. So we get a substitution here. Caden Dickerson checking out for the first time tonight. Tyler Almond out into the mix. Here is Almond. Drives it here near side. Nobody home. So it looks like the rain has basically eased up entirely for right now. Nice cool night in Olivesburg. And quickly off the restart. Off the Crestview foul. Huron driving it down deep for Manor. And he tried to take on one too many guys, and no clearance necessary there for the Cougars as it'll go out of bounds here. First corner kick that we've seen from either unit. It'll be Heidel that tees it up. And Tigers with no options for a quick short pass. And they've just got everybody pressed inside the 6. Great looking ball, and it's going to go down as the second goal for Manor. Cameron Manor, I believe, got a piece of this one, unless this was completely bent in by Heidel. I think it was. We'll watch it one more time, but off of that instant replay, it looks like Christian Heidel just boots this one in. I got to see that one more time. Let me slow this thing down. Yeah, because there's really no reaction there from Manor. Wow, definitely a top goal nominee on the OH report. So quickly, the 2-0 Crestview advantage has evaporated as we've got 2 goals in less than 4 minutes here for the Tigers. And our player spotlight having a foot in both of them. Christian Heidel set up Manor on the first one. Thought he did it on the second one. But he just scored himself. Let's show this just one more time because this is pretty rare. To take the corner kick and actually score the goal yourself. You see Callahan dropping down to his knees. He couldn't believe it. Great bend. Cougars having trouble clearing it. So another chance here for Heidel. Though he's pressured down in the corner. Loses the ball, gets it back in play quickly for Lensick. Ball boy still doing work over on that far side. Someone needs to get that kid a Snicker bar or something. One-man wrecking crew. Going to be a Cougar throw-in. Now Almond with a good pass in traffic. Cougar staying after it here with Perrigan. Got swarmed, though, in the turnover. So here comes Christian out of the pack. Sends it deep. Manor on the charge. Forces Callahan off his line. But Ty able to come up and make the stop. So we'll take a second look on our Carothers Pest Control instant replay. Clock rolling just past the midway point here of the opening half. A lot of offensive action so far. 4 goals in the first 17 and a half minutes. Crestview struck with the first two inside of a dozen. And then at the 27-22 and 22-30 mark, Heidel and Manor getting in on the action to square things up here on the outskirts of Ashland. I'm Brian Skowronski, going to be with you throughout the entire night here in Cougar Country. Make sure you drop me a comment and let me know where you're watching from tonight. That's another great ball here down in the corner. Lensick off the cross that time, drove it in low, and nobody charging in that close. Callahan made an excellent play too. Showed you that graphic in the pregame. Ty Callahan looking for his 5th match of the season where he would allow 2 goals or less. So he'd have to keep a clean sheet here for the remainder of the match to add on to that stat column. On the flip side, I think Crestview's only scored 2 goals or more, maybe twice this season. I'll check in on that. So this definitely an excellent offensive start for them. And you saw the creativity early. A couple of nice flicks. Dudes working well off of one another. Certainly Weaver's got that motor where he's just constantly moving around. Then there's Tyler Holloway trying to chase it down. Didn't have the speed quite to catch up. As that's handled by Scott Allen. Here's a race. Callahan out of his mark. And his defense backs him up. Good stuff there from Everett Smith. Now Eichelberger to the middle, trying to play through Spoor, but he got his pocket picked. Taken away here by Jackson Gray. And instant turnover here as Crestview gets it right back. Battle here won by Weaver. You see Trent just all over the place out there. And that's Tyler Allman knocking it out of bounds as we'll get a quick substitution. Caden Dickerson, junior midfielder, going to get some action here, spelling out Cole Eichelberger. (16 minutes, 15 seconds remaining here in the opening half. And blazing speed up top. And Noel earns a corner kick. And we saw what happened last time from this very spot with Christian Heidel putting it in himself. And you see, that's kind of the Tiger strategy. They've got 4 guys all basically right on the goal stripe, just waiting for it. Batted out of there by Ty. And the Cougars will clear. Weaver with that consistent motor forces a bad pass and gives Crestview a chance to try to flip the field here and get a few more bodies up in the attacking third. It's that second flick there from Holloway. Probably should have been more to the central part of the park. It's going to be picked off. Oh, great ball on the wing. But maybe a little too unselfish right there. You'd probably like to see Norwell pull up and get a shot attempt out of that one. Did have Cameron Manor tracking on the backside, who does have a goal tonight. Little jersey tuck up top. Let him play on. As Heidel lays it back. Now Holmes mismeasures that pass out to the wing for Brunau. Again, want to say hello to everybody out there watching live and free on the OH Report tonight. And since I'm a solo act, I do rely on you, the viewers, to help engage. We'll put you on the fan zone. I will read your comments on air. So definitely chime in. Love knowing where you guys are taking in the action from tonight. Who you're cheering for, some of your favorite players. And, of course, with the big moments, have your voice heard. A lot of contact here. 7-on-7 action. And it leaves the Dickerson chasing it deep here. Weaver trying to catch up. Beat to the ball first by Joe Schaefer. And he's able to shield him off just enough to earn a goal kick. 2-2 still the count on our Lacey Construction scoreboard. And just under 13 minutes remains here in the opening half. Rain still falling a little bit, but not quite like it was during setup tonight. Around 5 o'clock, well, I'd say really between 4:45 and about 5:45, we had heavy rainfall come through the area. Huge punt. And now Heidel. He's tried a lot of those balls tonight. And pretty close again right here. Callahan had a pretty nice read on it, able to make a break. Heavy touch there by Andrew Spohr, rolls out of bounds, so the Tigers getting quickly back to work. Though Manor loses it. Cougars really packing it in, defending with 10 guys right now. Weaver, the lone man up top at the forward position, waiting at midfield to try to make a play. But, I mean, he's surrounded. You can see here there's 4 guys in white jerseys waiting every time Trent gets an opportunity. Big throw-in intended for Manor. Comes off of him, right to the feet of Heidel. And he'll knock it out of bounds here for goal kick. Tomorrow night, a lot of high school football action going down on the OH Report. We'll be back over here. Cougars taking on St. Paul in a nice Firelands Conference rivalry. Also be at Mohawk for their matchup with Seneca East. Lucas will be at home against Plymouth. I'll be on the call for that one. Mount Gilead and Northmore homecoming night down on the Indian Reservation. Should be a fun one there with Travis Berardi on the call. We'll also have a highlight for Hillsdale at Waynedale, as well as Galleon at Pleasant in MOAC action. Fredericktown is at East Knox. Bryce Coder on the call there. And finally, Danville at Centerburg. Two of the top teams in the KMAC. Blue Devils trying to show that they are the kings of the conference this year. Still undefeated, the only unbeaten in conference play remaining down there in the KMAC, taking on the defending champions. So plenty of high school football action coming up tomorrow night on the OH Report. And, of course, at 11:30 p.m. every Friday, you can join us on the Friday Night Pigskin recaps of all the games, interviews, highlights, all the good stuff. Approaching the 8.5-minute mark here of this opening half, and haven't had a whistle in quite a while. Looks like we're going to get a foul here against Huron. And a late whistle, judging by where the ball is. So gives the Cougars an opportunity to really try to flip the field, as Callahan's going to come up and play this one. And Ty blisters it just outside the 18 and one out of the air. No surprise by a Huron Tiger. That was Jackson Gray. Heidel a long run with it, but gave it up to Everett Smith. He comes back and reclaims possession. Looking for Manor backside, and he volleys it up and over the top. Tigers take their first lead of the night. Look at Heidel with the hustle, comes up with the strip. Left foot cross. Big hop on the money, and an excellent play. Second goal tonight for Cameron Manor. Heidel's had a hand in every goal so far for the Tigers. Scored once, sandwiched in between a couple of assists. Last 3 goals all belonging to Huron after a hot start for Crestview. And solid build-up down the far side before the Cougars able to get in the way. Now here's Weaver. Clean touch. And they're going to try to get it back to Trent. It's going to be just a little bit behind him, though. And finds the feet of Mason Schnidley. Another big ball for Weaver. Look at the acceleration. And he got knocked down in the box. This is probably going to be a PK, folks. Yeah, I don't think much debate that the foul happens inside of the box. So the referee's very slow to get up to the play here. It is indeed going to be a penalty kick. I'm not sure who the Cougars specialist is. I'm told Tyler Holloway is going to be that dude. He always makes them. That is a direct quote up here in the box.
90% of the time.
So Brennan Dilly tells me 90% of the time he's good for it. Cougars like their odds. And he'll come through. All back to square here. Huge goal here by Crestview. And you got to give a lot of love there to Trent Weaver for just tracking that thing down. One of the fastest players on the field, if not the fastest that we've seen so far tonight. And an engine that just never seems to run out of fuel. So 6:24 remaining. Tyler Holloway with the equalizer on the PK. We'll see if that raises the confidence level of the Cougars here as clock rolls underneath 6 minutes to go. Any goal in short time, of course, feels like it carries a little bit more weight to it. Cougars coming up playing a little bit higher pressure than we've seen than previously in the match. Though about a step behind it there, so it leads to a turnover, and here comes Manor. Low-driven ball deflected. And it squirts through, but it's going to be cleared out of there now by Crestview. As that's off the left foot, out of bounds, off the Tigers. Cougars with a throw-in just to the right of their bench. Good-looking flick. Weaver tried to drop it back, though, instead of controlling it himself, and it leads to a counterattack. Seeking out Manor there on the charge. As Everett Smith cleans it up. Under 5 minutes remaining now in this opening half. And do make sure that you stick around for the Koorsen Fire and Security halftime show. We will have some stats for you guys. Got Brennan Dilly up here tracking stats for us, so maybe we'll get his observations from the first half. Got that coming up for you. And get you all set for second half action. Crestview really doing a nice job right now of just getting deflections on these balls that previously were finding its way through some creases for the Tigers. 2 of their 3 goals came on charges, big balls that landed their way into some space. Now Heidel, oh, how about the turn there from Manor? Cleaned off the defender, now off the deflection, stayed with it, and he's got his 3rd of the night. Magnificent goal. That time from Cameron Manor. Check this thing out. As big, heavy touch, and a little bit careless with the clear right there. Callahan has to come off, but just about a half second too late to where Manor can get a nice piece of it, chipping it up and over the keeper to regain the lead with 3:29 to go here in this first half. Battle for possession right now. Karate kicked forward here by Holloway. And Allen comes out to handle it. Off the deflection, Allen all the way out to the corner of the 18. Definitely ran out of real estate there inside of the keeper box. And the Cougars sticking with it. Weaver strikes it, but it is right at the sophomore keeper. See, pretty nice move by Weaver. Just wasn't able to direct it into one corner or the other. That one goes off the shin guards of Eichelberger, so it'll belong to the Tigers, who give it away off the throw. Now Dickerson just lobbing it to the middle of the field, picked off by Heidel. I think kind of lost his footing there. Didn't have a great touch to the outside As the clock winding under $1:45 remaining here in this first half. And Manor again able to snake it away. Through traffic, 4 Cougars had to come over to make that stop. As that one's ripped, but right at Callahan. Bullet shot there from the senior Nick Walls. Looks like we've got a couple of players shaken up right now. Nobody wants to exit the playing surface, so back to action we go with 1:15 on the clock. Tigers with a 1-goal advantage now. But Crestview trying to change all that. Still got a whole minute to play with as they'll flip the field. Freshman Paragon with a throw-in down into the corner. And a big bump that did not earn a whistle. Very physical play there by Joe Schaefer. Come back and show you that. As Manor again get out of town. That's what Crestview fans are hoping will happen. Just 36 ticks remaining on the clock. And he's got his 4th goal of the night. And a little bit of burn to go with it. But check this out. Great ball. Manor gave up the body, and he'll take that turf burn for goal number 4. Unreal start. So just a real offensive explosion here in Olivesburg, as we've got 8 total goals in this opening half. And the score will remain at 5-3 as the halftime buzzer sounds. Great start by Crestview. Erased, though, by an unbelievable performance by both Heidel and Manor, who's got 4 goals so far here tonight. We'll be right back after a quick commercial timeout, halftime stats, and a word from Brennan Dilley after this.
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
Man, I wish I was out there. Let's unretire. Why not? Randy Moss.
Dan Marino? You alright?
Hey, Grandpa!
Grandpa?
I still got it.
22! 22!
Delay game, number 13.
Let's see!
Hey. I need that senior discount.
That's the case. Mr. Marino, you mind if I take a selfie? Thank you.
I'm good right here, bro.
Unretirement? Who'd be dumb enough to do that?
Tonight's high school soccer match brought to you folks live and free thanks to our generous sponsors, Lacey Construction. Experience you can trust, done right and on time. Sutton Bank, earn the cash reward of your choice for doing simple activities with Kasasa. Koorsen Fire and Security. For all of your fire and security needs, call Koorsen for a free quote today. Total protection, one source. Carothers Pest Control. Got a pest? Call the best. 419-314-3214, and Frito Lay, driven and inspired by one purpose, food that matters for life's moments. Welcome inside the Koorsen Fire and Security halftime. I'm Brian Skowronski. These are your halftime stats, and we've got a special guest. Freshman Brennan Dilly is joining us, and you were tracking these numbers for us in that first half, Brennan. So tell me about your observations and how we got to this point here, 40 minutes in, with the Tigers on top 5-3.
All right, so Huron, they got a lot more shots on goal. They've had more shots. As the score says, they've had more goals, like with shots. But Crestview has had like 4 shots altogether, 3 shots on net. So Huron also has had 2 corners, but they gotta watch it on the fouls a little bit because it's getting a little rough out there. It's getting a little physical, but we don't want anybody getting carded out there or anything like that. We want to keep them in the game. And I think Huron's doing a good job with passes and working their way up the field and getting the ball up the field. And a little bit better than Crestview, because we're just trying to boot it up the field and hoping something happens out of it. And they're playing balls to each other, playing through balls, and they're playing soccer. How it should be played.
Do you feel like that's kind of the strategy for Crestview offensively against this Huron back line, is to try to play some heavy deep balls and then hope guys like Trent can use his athleticism and his acceleration and get up there and make some plays?
Yes, that's what we talked about during our kickoffs, because the first half of the season, we would start kickoffs and we'd drop it back to a midfielder, and then we'd play from there. But we always lost it on the 30 and the 20. So we realized that that's just giving up chances for goals. So we decided to put Trent up top, because he's our fastest player, to boot the ball up and see if he can get it because of his speed.
So any adjustments that you see that should be made in the second half for your Crestview Cougars?
I think we need to, because Trent is a really, really good defender, because as you can see when he plays, he doesn't ever give up on the ball, and he's always got energy. He's definitely one of the hardest working on our team, like by far. And I think we need to put him on defense for a little bit this half, so we can get our defense figured out, then get our offense figured out. Because we already got our offense kind of figured out because we've scored some goals. And if we get our defense figured out, then I think we'll have a chance of winning this game.
You heard it here first, folks, from a member of the team, Brennan Dilley, joining us up here in the booth tonight, tracking our stats. We'll have Brennan back on the mic at the end of the game for our post-game show. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. We're going to step aside, take one more time out. We will be back. Second half action here at the Cougar Den.
Three, two, one, let's go!
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, it just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
Man, I wish I was out there. Let's unretire. Why not?
Guess who's back?
Randy Moss.
Dan Marino? You alright?
Hey, Grandpa!
Grandpa?
I still got it.
22! 22!
Delay game, number 13.
Let's see!
Hey. I need that senior discount.
That's the case. Mr. Marino, you mind if I take a selfie? Thank you.
I'm good right here, bro.
Unretirement? Who'd be dumb enough to do that?
Second half action just about set to begin here at Scott Bailey Memorial Field, where at the half it is 5-3 in favor of the Huron Tigers. I'm Brian Skowronski, and the rain definitely starting to come down pretty heavy as the second half is about set to begin. So expect a little bit of an impact out here, as it was a steady rain, but kind of faint out there for the first 40 minutes of action. And now it's tough to kind of tell on our camera, but as you saw up on the lights at halftime, I mean, it's really spilling out of the sky now. And with that touch, second half is underway. Sensational answer by the Huron Tigers after surrendering the first 2 goals of the match. Would go on to net the next 3 to take the lead before Tyler Holloway punched it in with a PK. But then back-to-back goals in the final 3.5 minutes by Huron and Cameron Manor have the Tigers out in front 5-3. And pretty decent analysis there at the half from our freshman stat tracker, Brennan Dilley, who unfortunately suffered a concussion in their previous game and will be out at least tonight. And we'll get our first foul call here in half number 2. It's going to go against the Cougars. And a chance for a set piece with Heidel on the ball. Nick Walsh checks in behind him for a potential short play, but it will be Heidel bending it back post and headed out of there by Sporer. Cougars can't clear it just yet, though. Body's getting tangled up. Heidel just smashes this one and it hops right into the hands of Callahan. His first save of the second half. If you'd like to flip around and check out some of the other action going down on the OH Report tonight, we do have a pair of volleyball matches. Mount Gilead is at East Knox tonight in some KAME action. And we've also got Northmore at Fredericktown in another KMAC showdown. Freddy's the top dogs right now in the league standings. I believe they're still undefeated in league play. As the Cougars have an excellent build-up there by Tyler Holloway, who's still down. Couldn't get a whole lot of gravy onto that shot, though he's popped up and moving around fine. I think he was more just disappointed that he wasn't able to sizzle that last shot. Heidel controls and tries to make a turn. I mean, this dude, he has been special in this game. His playmaking ability, second to none so far. And you say that with a guy who's got 4 goals here on the evening, but it's true. Heidel definitely has been stirring up the drink all night, mixing the hot cocoa for the Tigers. And you almost need some if you're out here tonight. Look down in the bleachers. I'm not sure if the concession stand is open or not. It is indeed. Let's see. I'm seeing quite a few styrofoam cups. Some nice hot drinks in hand. And a ton of umbrellas. Matter of fact, every fan has an umbrella except for one guy. Hanging out, but he's got a ball cap on to protect his face. Diving into our Facebook feed. Still waiting for one of y'all to chime in here and get some back and forth going. Same over on the YouTube side of things. We are on YouTube channel 1 tonight. If you hit us with a comment, we'll shout you out. As we await a goal kick opportunity, and the ball boy over on that far side that was just really crushing it in the first half. I don't know if he had to get called home for dinner or what. I don't see him over there now. And out in this part of the world, I think they still have the dinner bell. That nice triangle. You hear Ma or Grandma ring that thing, you know you got 2 minutes or less. You better have that butt down at the supper table. Nice big clearance there by the Cougars, but they've been a step behind here on quite a few of those 50-50 balls. As the Tigers have packed just a little bit more punch in that department. Definitely have some good team acceleration. As the clock has rolled more than 6 minutes away here in the second half. And for Crestview, take a look at their results for the season. They've given up 5 goals or more only twice. In their second game of the year here at home against Mansfield Senior, and then 2 matches later against Milan Edison, a team that I would argue is the best win on the calendar for Huron so far this year. Chargers enjoying a pretty phenomenal year. Weaver off the backtrack, was able to get a touch on it. But it's taken away yet again here by Huron. But Brunel returns the favor with the gift. And now the Cougars looking to get something rolling on a counterattack. But this guy just always seems to be the calming hand in the middle of the field. And that's a two-handed push right in the back. You got to call that one. And the referees do recognize that's pretty blatant there. And I think a little bit of frustration just because Cameron Manor tonight, when he's had his opportunities in the open field, he very rarely has had the ball stripped away from him. He has dribbled in through the Crestview defense on multiple occasions. And now a little feint in this one through the uprights. Counts for 0 points, though, here on the soccer pitch, as Walls about 2 feet too tall. Heidel just has really mastered that move. Puts his foot on top of the ball and just turns in the opposite direction. Tough to defend. And Crestview's had their hands full with that all evening so far. Now Gray with a nice carry to the middle. Walls drives it in low this time. And it'll sail wide left out of bounds. As you see here on our Carothers Pest Control replay. No play to be made that time by Ty Callahan. Keeping a clean sheet here in this second half, as is Scott Allen. All 8 goals coming in half number 1 here. But these teams use just about every last second of time, with the first goal scored less than 90 seconds in, and then the last one with only 36 ticks remaining on the clock. Now here's Heidel. Pushes it out wide. And misplayed that time by Gray. As we'll get a substitution, Tyler Holloway trots on. Captain spells out Tyler Almond. Less than 30 minutes remaining here in the second half. And Manor, who came charging in, lost it off the right foot out of bounds for a goal kick. Actually, they changed the call here. We'll get a corner kick for the Tigers. They've scored off of one of these tonight. This is a little bit different strategy than we saw previously, with everybody charging in. Ty knocks it down. Tigers trying to keep the pressure on. And they'll maintain possession. Throw in back to Gray. Set up for Heidel. Blitzes that one across the field, and it's going to scoot its way out of bounds. Too far out in front of the intended target. After the referees conversed, they decided that that was last touch by Crestview. And if it did, it just barely would have caromed off the dome piece there of Grady Klein. So here's Heidel. That one pushed a little bit out, off the crossbar, headed down again, and Callahan finally able to squeeze it. Dangerous situation here. See the first header off the crossbar, and then the second one, Ty able to recollect, get in the middle of the pipes, and take that one out. Good seeing you, Steve. Steve Haverdale, the head coach of the Crestview football team. He's running the scoreboard here for the first part of the second half and the first half. And our stat tracker, Brendan Dilly, now doing it. This dude's definitely getting his money worth tonight. They at least paying you some snacks tonight, Brendan? Oh, he paid for his own Sour Patch Kids, so might have to get a GoFundMe page started up here or something. Back line of the Tigers really sharp so far here in half number 2. See what they do against Crestview, who's trying to get on the attack. Easy one there for Allen to trot up and handle. Now Gray pressured. Backline trying to utilize the midfield. And the heavy touch almost led to a turnover. Cougars were ready to pounce on it. And that one just struck out of bounds by Holmes on the far side. So it will be a Crestview throw-in. 26 minutes remaining here in the match. No overtime, of course, in the regular season. But the tournament draw coming up on Sunday. So every team across the state of Ohio will learn their playoff fate. And definitely it's always an interesting time of year with still a few weeks remaining in the regular season. And you're being seeded for your resume up to that point. So several teams that have big matches coming up at the end of the year, those are not factored in, those quality wins or tough losses. And vice versa, if maybe you got a couple very winnable games, not factored in to the tournament draw. Crestview, of course, competes in Division III. Huron, I believe, is in tournament in Division II for soccer. I will double check that. If you're just tuning in here, off that whistle and the foul from Caleb Holmes, it was 2-0 Crestview early on in this competition, as the Cougars looking to end a 3-game slide. But the Tigers have scored 5 of the last 6 to seize command here, but the Cougars trying to pull within 1. As you see, they've got a lot of bodies up working outside the box. And now they'll control just for a moment as that's poked away from Kaufman. And a lot of space here for Heidel on the run. Heavy touch on the first and the second. He goes touchline, brings it back. And now lobs it looking for Manor, who would net his 5th if he's able to score. But that one just mashed over top. See the setup for Robbie Banky, or that was Walls rather, who's had a few of those opportunities tonight, and I think all of them have sailed. He's either hit the crossbar or been too tall with every shot offering so far. Heidel lost his footing there as he tried to drive one into the box. And that'll roll out of bounds for a Tiger throw-in on the far side, as we're sub 23 minutes remaining here in the match. Our Bo Lacey Construction scoreboard has not been lit up in quite a while. No goals here in half number 2. Cougars with a pair of players getting ready to check in with Almond and Colton Hernandez. And they will spell out Spoor, who had a goal earlier. Kaufman also going to get a quick breather. Ball movement around the back line for the Tigers. Now looking to get work done down the far sideline, but it's going to be poked away. But that connecting pass to the midfield, it has really evaded Crestview here in the second half. They've only been able to get it up to that level a couple of times, as this one's chased down, kept in play. And the Cougars defensively hold a nice stand there with Dickerson having it deflected, though, so maybe they're not out of trouble just yet. With Gray making his run, give and go. Nice touch here for Gray. Cougar sent a double team at him. And now Heidel with a turnover. Crestview looking to flip the script. But as we've seen so many times here, the back line for the Tigers waiting on it. Still a lot of heavy rain pour coming down here on the outskirts of Ashland for this non-conference boys soccer match. Cougars looking for their 3rd win of the season. A victory for the Tigers here on the road would put them above 500 at 8-7. Neither team has had a draw at all this year. Here's Manor, who's been kind of quiet here in this second half. And looked like some incidental contacts leads to the giveaway as Crestview now. Well, I'm told actually Cougars do have a draw on the season. and have a third win, just not according to the schedule that I have. Who have you guys all beaten this year? I got you down for a win over West Holmes and Galleon. Then a win against Loudonville as well for the Cougars. Past the midway point here in half number 2. The Cougars are going to try to mount a comeback. They still have plenty of time, but you'd love to start getting a little bit of consistency, moving the ball forward, getting it into the attacking third, because we have basically played this entire second half in Cougar territory. Tigers have been really sharp at possessing, though. Of course, right on cue as I say that, Heidel loses control. But this one is poked out of bounds by Holmes, so it's going to be a Crestview throw-in. But they'll have to wait for Cole Eichelberger to check back in first. Dickerson's going to come take a seat. Again, just a nice step here by the Tigers, and they'll funnel it up front for Manor. Got knocked off his run. I believe the Cougars only suited up 14 players tonight. Maybe 15. So you look over on the far side, and a little bit more depth and variety for Huron. Though neither unit has really gone to the bench often.
It wasn't Loudonville, it was Clyde.
And actually it was not a win over Loudonville earlier in the year. I can confirm the Crestview took care of Clyde 3-0 earlier in the year. So Callahan does have a shutout this season. And here he is, taking that one on the skip off of the wet turf. And it's really tricky for the keepers, I think, more so than the field players. With the rain coming down, I mean, can impact your vision, obviously your grip on the ball with those goalie gloves. Callahan's done well, as has Scott Allen tonight. As we're under 16 minutes to go now here at Scott Bailey. And still waiting for my friends out there on the Facebook to chime in. Well, let me know how you're taking in tonight's contest. You shout us out, we'll shout you out. And that might be the first shot attempt of the second half for Crestview. It is indeed. They have really found it challenging to get bodies and numbers moving forward, and it actually is going to set them up for their first corner kick as well. So a huge opportunity here for the freshman Colton Hernandez, who drills that one back post, but a lot of really late runs there for Crestview. So potentially it was intended to be kicked a little bit further out. But the Cougars maintain possession. They'll have a big throw into the box, but right back to Papa it comes. And off the cross, there's nobody on the backside for Crestview. Their spacing wasn't great there. all kind of collected within the hash mark of the football field. Empty opportunity that time for the Cougars offensively in this battle of big cats tonight. Tiger versus Cougar. And we had this earlier in the season, a Tiger versus Cougar matchup, and we did all the breakdown for you guys here on the OH Report about who would win in an actual cat fight. And there's no question that we came away with the Tiger being the answer, though I wouldn't want to run into either as a human being. But as far as the cat species is concerned, the ones with the big stripes, definitely not as cuddly as those plushy toys that your kids may have hanging out in their rooms. Cats are killing machines, and so is Gray on this charge. But he misfires just wide left. Solid looking run that time, and really no teammates needed for Jackson Gray as he carried it through some foot traffic. And with a substitution here, Cameron Manor is going to get his first break of the night and potentially could be done for the evening. Dude's already got 4 goals. Not sure what more you would want out of him. Fantastic night for Cameron Manor. And on the season, I think, if I'm reading this right, that his coach said that he had 9 goals here. Now the Cougars with a 3-on-3. Trent was shoulder to shoulder that time, kind of got bumped off the block. And just like that, the threat ends. And that's how it's been for Crestview tonight. Just maintaining possession in enemy territory is something that they've not been able to accomplish. Well, maybe heading into tonight, Cameron Matter has 29 goals instead of 9. Could that be right? Looking at their season totals, and they've had quite a few matches where they were overmatching their opponents. Some 11, 10, 8-0 victories, a 6-0 victory. Yeah, it's very possible he does have 29. Thought that was maybe a misprint from their coach, Matt Asher. And Trent Weaver off the field. I think this might be his first break of the evening as well. And as mentioned, a little bit short-staffed tonight with Brendan Dilley unable to suit up. Cougars are going to have to play a few extra minutes at a couple different spots on the field. As the clock continues to roll, under 11 minutes to go. And the rain continues to fall pretty intensely out here. And our weather girl, Jory, told me that according to her calculations, this shouldn't stop until like noon tomorrow. So it's going to be a wet and wild evening all across north central Ohio. And could make for a soggy Football Friday night tomorrow, depending on the stadium and if they have grass or turf. Of course, there's no problem here. Scott Bailey, one of the best that we have in the entire area. And it just feels like Jackson Gray has been waiting on those balls for more often than not tonight. How many times have you seen Crestview try to clear it, and then there's 39 in the picture? Spore got a chunk of that one, and it'll head back into the hands of their keeper. So we're approaching 9 minutes remaining in the match. Huron looking for their first win in our last couple. Losers in... Oh, excuse me. No, they did lose back-to-back games against Perkins and then Mansfield Christian. Were able to bounce back earlier in the week against Sandusky. So this would be 2 in a row for them, and their regular season finale coming up at home against Port Clinton on October the 11th. That one will, of course, come after the tournament draw and will not have any factors. So if the score does hold up, they will go into the draw above 500 at 8-7. And you can tell, I mean, we've seen the good and the bad tonight from the Tigers. Definitely some flashes, some great individual talent. Love their center mid and what we've seen from Heidel throughout the course of the night, and their goal scorer manner as well, who could be at 30-plus goals on the year. I think that might be right. If you know out there in Facebook or YouTube land, won't you let me know? Hey, here we go. My guy Tom Crawl, who I have to give him a pass because he's commenting, though he does have one of the more disturbing profile pictures I've ever seen of a Pittsburgh Steelers logo. But he's given us a shout out and says, thank you for all the coverage we do for local sports. Well, we love doing it, Tom. Glad that we could bring you guys some action so that you don't have to come out here and brave the rain like quite a few fans actually did. I mean, when we were right about at kickoff, I was joking with the athletic director here. I think there was about 3 fans, but now it's filled in pretty decently here over on the home side. You see nobody on the away bleachers. Maybe they're sitting over here. So, okay, yeah, I don't want to criticize the Tigers fans because you got to assume that there's a few of them out here in the building tonight. But pretty lonely over there on the visitor bleachers. And both goals have been pretty lonely in the second half, as we have gone scoreless, folks. It was a goal party in the first 40 minutes, and sometimes you just get partied out. And it seems like that's been the case here. The Tigers have created quite a bit of offensive opportunities, as Heidel again on the charge, left foot, and taken by Callahan in stride. Tie with a really good second half. And another shot on net here for the Tigers. We'll see what Heidel does with this one. He's going to draw the whistle. That's Weaver, now back in more of a defensive role. And the Carothers replay kind of shows it. So they've got Christian Heidel on the ball. Just missed that one. Solid attempts here from Christian. Just kind of ran out of real estate. I think if he would have kicked that and the ball or the goal was about 2 feet further back, it looked like it was just about to dip. The clock, though, dipping below 5 minutes to play. Cougars better get to work quick here. Easier said than done against this Tigers back line that has been very stout here over these last 35 minutes in the second half. Really no chinks in the armor to be had, as the Cougars in the first half, we saw on a few different occasions, were able to split some gaps, get into some crevices of the defense, but there just has not been a whole lot of room for them when they've played those through balls. But you see the Cougars still trying to send them deep. Got Owen McKinney up top now, along with Landon Folk, so a pair of sophomores. But it's going to be a bad giveaway here, right to the feet of Michael Finlay. And you see Christian just always around the ball. Might want to call Carothers. He has been a pest. And here he is yet again. Now Gray carrying. Mismeasured that one. Too far out in front or maybe even a little bit behind. Not sure who that was intended for, if it was for Finley or Heidel. Now Michael gets stonewalled on the far side, but he'll stick with it as the Cougars get the throw in. And they'll have to settle for just knocking it out of bounds, as we've got a throw in on the way here deep in Crestview territory. Less than 3 minutes remaining in the match. And they'll do it all over again. About 5 yards further down the surface. Flicked into the middle of the field, but no Tiger really present. They're really kind of catering now to just keeping a goose egg on the board here in the second half, as that's blistered by Gray, who's definitely had some great pace behind it. He's thrown some Tabasco on some shots, but hasn't been able to drive anything into the back of the net, as Callahan comes away with another save. And tested a bit more, I think, here in the second half than he was in the first. Well, at least he wasn't passing the tests in the first half. So the score sheet would say, as he gave up 5. And he'll have to do some work here after the foul by Crestview. Set up a set piece. Schaefer waiting for the restart. And now blast this one, bending back posts. And Callahan again gets his mitts on it. Final 90 seconds now here remaining in the match. Looks like the Cougars will suffer a third straight defeat. And just one more regular season game remaining on their schedule. Is that right? Yes. You guys just have Clear Fork left. That one coming up at the Colt Corral on Saturday. We will be there with live and free coverage. Jeremy Peoples will get his play-by-play debut for the OH Report in that match. Heidel towards the middle of the park, lays it off for Gray, who I think he would love to get a goal here in these last 30 seconds. Jackson has been working hard and not rewarded much, or at least on the score sheet, as Callahan punched this deep into enemy territory, but almost broken record syndrome here. Huron, they're just winning every ball out of the sky. Very few have touched a Crestview player first. And that will do it, folks. 5-3, your final score. The Huron Tigers come here on the road and come away with a victory. Stick around, though, for the Koorsen Fire and Security post-game show, as well as our Sutton Bank Most Valuable Player interview, which I think we're going to have to go with the goal scorer tonight. Number 2, Cameron Banner, with 4 goals. So all that and more on the other side. Keep it here. We'll be right back.
let's go!
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
Man, I wish I was out there. Let's unretire. Why not? Randy Moss.
Dan Marino? You alright?
Hey, Grandpa!
Grandpa?
I still got it.
22. 22.
Can we again? Number 13.
Let's see.
Hey. I need that senior discount.
That's the game. Mr. Marino, you mind if I take a selfie? Thank you.
I'm good right here, bro.
Unretirement? Who'd be dumb enough to do that?
We return now with our player of the game presented by Sutton Bank, and we've got Cameron Manor with us. 4 goals tonight on a rainy night in Crestview and a big win for you guys. So we got to begin with the goal scoring, I think, of course. And let's start with the first couple that you had of the 4. And if you can, just walk us through, maybe your favorite.
Yeah, I definitely like that corner from Chris Heidel.
He
placed it perfectly for me and tapped it in. We've been working on that all year, and nice to put one in.
Heidel tonight, he was really cooking with some salt, man. He had 3 assists. How well do you feel like you play off of him and really the entire team?
Yeah, me and him have been working together since we were like 6 years old, so we got major chemistry, and we just worked really good tonight and turned out in our favor.
Coming on the road on a rainy night like this, what type of impact does that have when the weather is the way it is?
Yeah, it was our first weather game in quite a while. We just got to stay composed and work it and just play with it and just keep it going.
The end of that first half, you had goals on short time, 3:29 and then 36 seconds left to really put you guys out in front and kind of cement the win. Obviously, those were huge. Take me through kind of those last 4 minutes. It felt like you were really in a zone.
Yeah, after that third goal, I was in my zone and just ready to put another one in and get the lead.
Well, moving into the tournament draw now for you guys. Back-to-back wins for you, and one in convincing fashion tonight, 2 by 2 goals. Well, where do you feel like you guys kind of sit within your district?
Yeah, I think we sit pretty good. I think we have quite a good, talented team, and we're ready for playoffs.
All right, Cameron Manor, our MVP. Are there any shout-outs that you would like to give tonight?
Yeah, definitely a shout-out to Jackson Gray and Chris Heidel. Us three and Nick Walls work together perfectly.
Congratulations on a big win and for being our MVP presented by Sutton Bank.
Thank you.
3, 2, 1, let's go!
Instead of paying for some big-name spokesperson, Kasasa Checking gives that money back to you in cash rewards. In fact, you just bought me this cup of coffee. See how that works? Amazing! Free checking, cash rewards. Take back banking with Kasasa.
Man, I wish I was out there. Let Son retire. Why not? Randy Moss.
Dan Marino? You alright?
Hey, Grandpa!
Grandpa?
I still got it.
22. 22.
Do it again, number 13.
Let's see.
Hey. I need that senior discount.
That's the game. Mr. Marino, you mind if I take a selfie? Thank you.
I'm good right here, bro.
Unretirement? Who'd be dumb enough to do that?
This is the Koorsen post-game show. I'm Brian Skowronski, and I've got Brennan Dilley joining me now. As you see, it looks like snow's flying out here. That's just how heavy the rain is. And we got the final stats of the night up here on the screen. Go ahead and break it down for the folks at home. Brennan, what really decided this thing?
I think the position of the game, how Huron had the game, the ball most of the time, and the 1-2s were really well, and how they were just passing the ball and not like booming it down the field, and they were like, where they passed the ball is where they wanted to go. Where they hit the ball is where they wanted to go. So I think that's one of the big factors.
They had some good continuity out there, and three guys in particular I thought really played well. Heidel and Manor, and then you saw Walls as well. So on the flip side for Crestview, in the first half, it felt like they had some nice creative stretches offensively. We didn't see a lot of those in the second half. Where do you think they were kind of missing the mark?
I feel like our coach, Pond, he kind of took out the main people he had at front in the beginning of the game. He kind of moved them towards the back. Like Tyler Holloway, he was up front like the whole first half, along with second half, he decided to move them back on defense. That way we could have a little bit of stronger defense because those are two of our stronger defenders.
So moving forward for you guys, you're going to get back into the mix hopefully here soon, and you're going to be healthy. What do you want to accomplish before you guys do get into tournament? And it's, of course, win or go home.
I kind of want to just have the team work together a little bit more. Like, as you can see sometimes, whenever we get goal scored, we just start yelling at people and blaming each other for it. I feel like our team chemistry needs to be able to grow a little bit more. We need to be able to talk to each other better and just, like, take the game more seriously.
All right, that's Brennan Dilley, freshman player here for Crestview with your post-show breakdown. Thanks a lot, man. That is going to wrap things up, though, here from Scott Bailey Memorial Field. Your final score, 5-3. The Huron Tigers come out here, and they come up with a big win. Got to throw out a couple of special thank yous to all of our sponsors out there that help collectively bring you live and free coverage here at Crestview, including Koorsen Fire and Security, Lacey Construction, Sutton Bank, Carothers Pest Control, and Frito Lay. For Jory Hollenbeck, Brennan, and everybody else out there in the OH Report family that helped make this game happen, I'm Brian Skowronski saying so long from Olivesburg.